Good morning or good afternoon, coaches. This is Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are excited to have our first Spotlight podcast with a linebacker from here in Round Rock, Texas. He's in the class of 21. His name is Brett Hartgrove, and he goes to Cedar Ridge High School. We are here. Connected Athletics is focused on connecting athletes with college coaches, especially now in this COVID-19 environment where there's not any camps or combines or 7-on-7 going on. We want to give student athletes a chance to get in front of coaches with fresh, interactive content, and for you to get to know them a little bit better so you can continue to take them through the recruiting process. So with that opening, let me welcome Brett Hartgrove. Brett, how you doing this morning?
Doing great, Coach. How are you?
I'm excellent. Hey, I really appreciate you taking the time to help us work out the kinks in this new podcast. But you are a kid that I think is perfect for this because as a fellow linebacker, obviously 7-on-7, it's hard, to really get a look because it's mostly about quarterbacks and receivers and DBs. But I want you to use this platform to tell your story to coaches who maybe want to get to know you better or don't know you at all. So let's just kind of run through some questions and feel free to tell us a little bit more about yourself here a little bit, okay?
Sounds great, Coach.
All right, great. So let's start with this obvious one. Obviously, we're in a unprecedented time with COVID-19. Obviously, a lot of the events I mentioned earlier are shut down. What are you doing to stay active in this COVID-19 environment that we're in?
Right now, we have a full gym in our garage, and we've been using that to do full morning and afternoon workouts, just like we would be doing in the off season. And then every other day, I'm going out and running on the field, working on footwork and hip mobility.
Awesome. That sounds good. So obviously, I don't know if Cedar Ridge is doing classes online, but tell some coaches here. You've obviously got a really good core GPA and 3.31, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing from an academic standpoint to stay sharp in the classroom.
Right now, we're doing all of our Cedar Ridge classes on Google Classroom. We're finishing all that. I'm usually getting through with the whole week by Monday or Tuesday, and for ACC, which is my dual credit classes, so I should finish high school with college class credit. And we're doing those all online on Zoom, just like we're doing now.
Awesome. Great. So as we get back into kind of you as a linebacker, share with us why or how you're differentiating yourself as a linebacker against all the other linebackers in the class 21. What do you bring to a college program that might be looking at you?
I bring versatility. I'm able to play all special teams. I long snap since I was on the varsity level, since I was a sophomore, and I go harder than anybody else in the classroom and on the field. I know everybody says it. Everybody says they outwork, but I really do. I get things done, and I study up in the film room, so I know what plays coming before it even happens.
Good. That's good to know. So you have a very strong understanding of mental preparation for games, because the higher you get in this game, as you're probably figuring out, scouting reports, film study, and the on-field practice are critical to having success on a Saturday in college, correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, there's obviously, you probably want to hear from a lot of schools. Tell us who you're hearing from, and then some schools you might like to hear from based on your physical talent and your academic transcript.
Yeah, so right now I've talked to schools such as Harvard, Yale, talked to Montana yesterday. I've talked to a lot of Division I schools all the way down to NAIA, trying to find a good fit. Some schools I'd like to hear from are some more local, at least like we're talking Lamar, Stephen F. Austin, Abilene Christian, schools like those, schools that I got a little closer connection to. Obviously, schools I'm talking to like Columbia are great schools, but that's a long commute, and it'd be nice to be able to connect with schools closer here to get more of a feel going for that.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you definitely want to have a chance for your family and friends to come see you, but obviously I would say your goal is probably get the best education you can get while playing football at a high level, correct?
Absolutely. That's always been the goal, is to be able to get my college education while playing football, no matter where that's at. I don't care if I got to go to Australia. If I can get out education and I can play football, that's always been my goal.
I love it. So, hey, Brett, tell us about, so obviously the importance of relationship between you and your coaching staff is important. Tell us about your 3 years going into your senior year with Coach Robinson and the Cedar Ridge football staff. What's it like? what's the relationship like, and how do you what have they taught you over the last 3 years?
Yes, sir. So I was part of the first class to get Coach Robinson for all 4 years. I'm very blessed for that. The classes before me had new head coach, new head coach, new head coach, and to be able to have Coach Rob for all 4 years and the connection we've built is outstanding. The way they run the program, they run it like a family, and I'm really appreciative of it.
Great. So give me an idea. What are some of the things you're looking forward to as you transition to college this time next year? What have you heard? I know you had Deuce Vaughn, some of these other guys that played at Cedar Ridge have gone on to play at the next level. What have you heard, and what are you looking forward to being a student athlete at the college level?
Just building those friendships, building those connections with other people. Obviously, getting some independence going, being able to carry my own weight, and being in an environment where we're getting our education and we're playing football 24/7.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, another question that coaches always like to understand is, who's going to be involved? Probably 6 months from now or during the season, who's going to be involved in helping you make the decision on where you're going to commit to?
Yeah, it'll be a big, long conversation with my parents. Obviously, those are number one in my life. I'll be talking with my grandparents a lot with that, and obviously my youth pastors at the church. So we're going to be praying a lot about that, trying to figure out where's the best fit for me and my family.
No, I like it. I like hearing that you're going to have kind of a small circle to kind of help you make the decision based on, obviously prayer and what's right for you. So that's great to hear. Let's change it up a little bit. What are your interests outside of school and football? Who is Brett the person when he's not playing football?
I'm a bass fisherman and a hunter. We like to go deer hunting a lot. We go fishing a lot on the lake. And actually, I'm a state champion in barbecue in the state of Texas. So we're a big barbecue over here.
Wait, say that again. You are a state champion in barbecue. That's two things I love hearing in the same sentence. Go give us a little bit more information about that.
So technically, we weren't first, but we placed fourth in the state, which is technically the world if you're asking a Texan. But we had a competition in Burnett, Texas, with all the schools in the state, and basically go out and barbecue, and best barbecue wins. And we got fourth place. We're going for first place this summer if all this tones down.
And what were you barbecuing? Was it a specific meat, or did you get to choose, or was it brisket or ribs or what?
You got to do a brisket, you got to do ribs, you got to do beans, you got to do a chicken, you got to do a dessert.
Okay, how do I get to be a judge in that? You got to keep me informed on that. I'd love to be a judge on that competition.
I'll get you a hookup, coach.
I like it. Hey, so you've got obviously lots of interest with fishing and barbecuing and hunting. What do you plan on majoring in once you get to college? What do you want to do? What do you want football to help you enable to get to as far as a career?
So my top three for as majors go is going to be business, engineering, or agriculture. Depending on where I go and how that fits in, those are the top three that I'm focused on right now the most. I've been taking business classes here at Cedar Ridge.
Great. You plan on maybe starting your own business, or are you looking forward to maybe joining on with some Fortune 500 company or a local business here in Austin? I mean, what would be your ultimate dream?
It'd be cool to own my own company and run it myself, but however I need to get there, I'm willing to work hard for whoever and wherever. So.
Okay. Hey, one thing about football, we all know there's ups and downs in football. You got to have a short memory. Give the coaches an idea of an example, maybe of you overcoming adversity, whether it was on a football field or something in your life. As you know, when you get to college, there's going to be adversity as there is in high school. But give us kind of a story of a time that sticks out to you of when you overcame adversity.
Biggest one that stands out is the Westwood game, last game of the year. We're playing against a guy that's now a Division I, or he's going to be a Division I quarterback, RJ Martinez. He's a great quarterback. We finished the game. We won 72 to like 60. It was a crazy game, real back and forth, awful. It was just our defensive coordinator almost had an aneurysm. It was awful. But throughout that game, we're going back and forth, and we get out there. It's fourth quarter. I go out. I tell Deuce, because Deuce has already rushed for 400, 500 yards. I said, Deuce, I'm going to get you this ball back. I go out, sack the quarterback, get the ball back. We turn it over. We score. One more time, I go over there. I tell Deuce, I got you right here. We get a pick, score again, and we finish out that game. That was one of the biggest adversity moments I faced.
Awesome. That's good to hear. That's important. Coaches want to hear because I mean we all wish as athletes that the game went nice and smooth in the way we wanted to, but there's always a fumble or a change in momentum or something will happen. And so it's good that you have some examples of overcoming that. Um, Simple question: why do you love football? What is it doing for you? What kind of a man is it making you into? Tell us a little bit about why you've been playing this game at such a high level for so long.
Football has always been kind of my first love. Just to be able to put a helmet on, go out there and have some controlled aggression, go out there and have to think on the fly and go out and put the helmet on somebody. That's always just been so much fun for me, and look forward to it doing that at the next level.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Hey, obviously there's been, we're, staying home and being safe and trying to get through this coronavirus and get to the fall season. What are you doing to kill some of this time? What video games you're playing or what apps you spend a lot of time with to kind of kill time in between your workouts?
Pretty much just Madden and Netflix. Those are pretty much the big two. Right now I'm experimenting with different schemes on Madden, so we'll see how those go.
What's the latest Netflix? What would be your Netflix one or two either movies or documentaries that you've watched that you thought were pretty interesting? What are you
I
watching?
tried I tried to watch the Tiger King. It got too weird for me, so I kind of held off. So I'm a big Office guy. I like The Office a lot. I like watching the Last Chance U. I'm looking forward to the next season, hopefully. But I like watching those type of shows.
Okay. Well, hey, as we get towards the end of this interview, and we appreciate your time, give us an idea. You're obviously a well-balanced young man between athletics and academics. Who are the people who are influential in your life who are making a difference and putting you in the right path to being successful? Who are those people?
Definitely my mom and dad. My mom and dad have always showed me how to do things the right way, not just the easy way, not the fast way, not the quick way. They've taught me we're going to do it the right way and we're going to stick with it. They taught me got to keep my head strong, keep moving forward. Anytime I face any type of adversity, it's always you got to overcome this, be the best person you can be, and always keep my eyes focused on the Lord and serving Him.
Yeah, I love hearing that. You've been to a few of my events. We talk about the importance of faith, family, education, and football, and it sounds like you have your priorities straight. I love hearing that from you. Obviously, you're a talented athlete. Outside of football, what other sports have you played? Whether it be in high school or club activity or what? What have you done?
I played varsity baseball. That got in the way of running track, but I still ran the track during football. We had varsity season for baseball going this year, playing outfield and a little bit of first base, but right now it's kind of gone to a complete stop. So it's unfortunate, but baseball is definitely my second love, but I'm definitely going to end up playing football.
Okay. Well, one of the things that a lot of college coaches like to ask players is, why do you think there's a lot of players that want to play at the college level? Why do you think you can play at the college level?
Uh, like I said in the beginning, I'm versatile. I can do anything they need me to do. You need me to play special teams for 4 years, I'll do it with a smile on my face, running full tilt boogie. Uh, I'm a hard worker, and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to give you my absolute best effort. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. And you'll never have to question whether I've got the right grades. You'll never have to question if I'm in the right place. I'm always going to keep my head strong and make sure I'm doing the right thing.
That's good to hear. When you transition from a senior to high school, where literally everybody is trying to get that route to college football. Talk to us about this time next year. You're about to go into college. What would be your goals as a freshman going into a college program? With some things like respecting the upperclassmen, maybe trying to make a name on special teams. What would be your plan to set a good standard for your freshman year in college?
Definitely be able to travel with the team, get some sort of special teams playing time, kind of build that leadership role as a freshman. Obviously not take over the role, but start building it up for my class in the 2021 class and being able to lead up into that leadership position by the time I'm a junior or senior at the college.
Makes sense. Well, Brett, you've got good size. We've got in your profile here, 6'2", 220. I know you're put together really good. I know your family pretty good. You've got some upsize. Give us an idea of how many different positions you see yourself playing, or Obviously, in college, there's times where you might have to change your position. Give us some background about some things you're open to as far as your position, playing with your hand on the ground or staying at inside or outside linebacker.
Right. I've talked to my dad a lot about this, and I've obviously got a lot of room to grow. I'm not going to plateau. I'm not just going to stick flat. I'm going to keep growing, and whether it's getting as fast as possible and moving back to safety or getting as big as possible, shooting up to like 6'3", 6'4", putting on a lot of weight and putting my hand in the ground. Either way, I'm ready to go, and I can play any of those positions.
Okay. Hey, lastly, obviously, we're going to be interviewing some other players. As a reference, you've played against a lot of guys. You played with a lot of good players on the field and in 7-on-7. Give us the names of a couple guys maybe in your class or that are class 22 that if you were a college coach, you'd say, hey, I need to look out for these players. Who would you recommend or reference that you respect their grind and their game?
Definitely, they just got their first few offers this past week, but RJ Martinez and Ryder Hernandez, those two are phenomenal athletes. They get it done. They just straight up get it done. Those are two great quarterbacks. Don't look at their size. People worry too much about their size. They are outstanding quarterbacks. Definitely need to look at them.
That's great respect. I definitely agree with you on that. Hey, lastly, as we get ready to go into your senior year, I mean, what have you guys gotten together as a team, and what kind of goals does the senior team have for Cedar Ridge Raiders this year?
Right. We've talked a lot about this. It's basically building that brotherhood and making sure everybody's on the same page at the same time. We want to make sure everybody's flying to the ball with the same mentality. We don't want to have any islands anywhere. We want to be centered on one focus, and that's winning as many games as possible. Obviously, we're coming for that district championship this year, trying to take that title back and make it as far as we can in playoffs, hopeful to be the first team in Round Rock to make it to a state championship.
Great. Well, Brett, I think you did an awesome job, man. I really do appreciate your time. As you move forward in this recruiting process, definitely let me know and let us know how else we can help. We might have you back on. But once again, I want to thank you and your family for trusting us to tell your story. And I think there's a lot of college coaches that after hearing from you and seeing some of your information, hopefully it's going to help you make your dreams a reality and playing this great game at the college level.
Absolutely, Coach.
All right. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you, Coach.